Hello friends, welcome to my channel and explore the world of Microsoft Azure. My name is Rajneesh Kaushik and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, consultant and an enterprise architect. For more latest videos and blogs, you can always log into my website rajneeshkaushik.com and subscribe to my blog. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss the latest videos. Do like, share and comment.
In the ever-evolving landscape of cloud computing, efficiency and automations are not just a keyword or a buzzword, but it is an essential strategy for managing complex cloud environments. And Azure Automation emerges as a pivotal tool in this realm, which offers a robust cloud-based automation service, which helps you to focus on the work which really adds business value. By automating frequent, time-consuming, error-prone cloud task management tasks, Azure Automation helps you to reduce the operational overhead and ensures the consistency across the environments so that you can build and implement a scalable, reliable automation solutions in no time. So, unlocking the full power of hybrid runbooks with Azure Automation. Here is the agenda. First, we are going to understand what is Azure Automation, and then we will learn about Hybrid Runbook Workers. And in Hybrid Runbook Workers, we are going to understand how this concept can extend your automation journey beyond the Azure. Then we will learn about utilizing this Hybrid Runbook Workers for VM and data management tasks. And then we will discuss a real-time real world use case with hybrid runbook and then jump to a quick demo. So let's get started. Understanding the Azure Automation and Hybrid Runbook Workers. As you know that Azure Automation is a pivotal tool on the cloud-based automation service. It is one of the best automation service which is available in Azure. And how this tool can help you to achieve success in cloud automation, because it can be very easily spin up your service, can add a couple of runbooks into it and helps you to automate the business critical tasks and add really a big value to your business. If you use Azure Automation, you can reduce the operational overhead and you can do the repeating tasks which is very error prone task in no time, and that is how this automation service can help you. Now when we say hybrid runbook worker, what does it mean? Hybrid runbook workers are the tasks or runbooks which can spread across your Azure environment to your on-premises environment or both. So this is where this can be really helpful. Hybrid Runbook Workers, extending the automation beyond Azure. So why you would need a automation task which goes beyond your Azure environment, right? Because there might be some flow required in your application for which you may have to run this flow, half part of this flow in the Azure cloud, and then remaining part of the flow need to be run on the on-premises environment, right? And sometime what happens when your tool stack is something like that some tasks cannot be executed in the cloud, some tasks need to be executed only in the on-premises, or the tools which is available has some limitations that these tools cannot be run in the cloud environment. They are not meant to be run in the cloud environment, but they are part of very important part of your automation journey. So in that scenario, you can use hybrid runbook workers. Hybrid runbook worker is flexible and secure, which can directly interact with the on-premises cloud environment and on-premises environment for all the cloud management tasks. Utilizing hybrid runbook workers for VM and data management tasks. So why we require a hybrid runbook worker for VM and data management task? Let's understand this with one example. So suppose you have a VM, right? And you want to start that VM at certain point of time and then shut down when the tasks are executed in that VM, or some scripts is being executed in that VM. And there are some tasks which can only be executed on the VM which is kept in the on-premises, or sometime the VM can be kept in the cloud as well, right? But you want to make sure that the task need to be executed in that very specific VM, right? One example I can give you that Microsoft PowerShell does not provide you those capabilities for copying the data between the different storage accounts in the pure PowerShell script. AZ copy is very good tool and utility which can be used to copy the data between the different storage accounts, and it comes with so many options which is already inbuilt into the script, but the similar AZ copy equivalent is not available in the PowerShell. So if suppose you want to use AZ copy, you cannot use the AZ copy directly in the pure PowerShell. So if you want to run AZ copy, you need a VM environment, and in that VM you can use AZ copy and exploit the full power of AZ copy. So this is one example where if you want to run AZ copy, you may have to deploy the AZ copy into the VM and call that AZ copy from outside. That is why one of the example is, you can use Hybrid Runbook, okay, and this will help you to streamline the cloud management task for efficiency and security. Okay, so now let's jump to a demo. In this demo, we are going to, explain you how this Azure Automation account works, right? And in this, what is the purpose of this demo? And let me explain you what is the purpose of the demo. In this environment, we have created a ADLS Gen 2 data lake, which is a private data lake, which means that it is not exposed to the public IP address. And we have a public data lake which is exposed to the public IP address. Why public lake? Because there is a software called Reltio. It has some limitations due to which it cannot copy the data which is hosted in the private lake. So if you want to use your data coming from the Reltio, you need to create a separate data lake where the Reltio can push the data inside the public lake. And if your data is hosted in the public lake, what you will do, you will copy the data from public lake to the private lake. And in order to do that, your VM, which is deployed in your VNet, and in your VNet inside one subnet, should have access to your private lake as well as the public IP address of the public lake, so that this VM can copy the data. Because if you want to execute this outside that subnet or a VNet, it will not work, because usually private lakes can only be configured to be accessed from the subnet or the VNet where they are connected with the private endpoints. If you want to access the same lake outside the VNet, it is not going to work. So that is why what you will do here is you are going to deploy a VM inside the VNet where the whole lake is accessible via the private endpoint, and copy the data from public lake to the private lake. Let's understand this whole concept with this diagram. Here is a private lake and here is a public lake. Public lake where all the data is dumped from the Reltio, and private lake is only accessible from this VM. Why? Because the private endpoint which is hosted in the same VNet, this is your VNet. Inside this VNet there is a subnet. In that subnet you are hosting the private endpoint of the data lake. Then there is another subnet where your VM is hosted. Because VMs is hosted in the same VNet but in a different subnet, which means that this VM can access the data on the private lake. But this VM can also access the data in the public lake, because public lake is only already accessible publicly. So what we will do with this, we are going to run a automation script of AZ copy inside this VM to copy the data from public lake to the private lake. Because if you don't have your VM deployed inside this VNet, it cannot access the private lake. It may access the public lake but not the private lake. So that is why we need to deploy this VM. Now it's not just deploying the VM, we need to manage this VM because we cannot keep running this VM 24/7. So what we will do before we do anything, first we are going to start the VM. Then we will remotely access the AZ copy which is deployed in the VM to copy the data from this lake to this lake. And then we will shut down the VM. So this is all about the demo. And let's jump to the Azure environment and I will explain you this whole demo, how it works.
Okay, so now let's understand how this whole demo is being prepared. So let's first go to the test hybrid automation account which I have created. In that automation account, I have created 3 different runbooks. First runbook is start VM runbook. The start VM runbook actually starts the VM, and similarly I have a stop runbook which stops the VM, which is again a 2-line which is stop AZVM, and then forcefully it is stopping the VM. And then I have also created another VM, another runbook called Hybrid Runbook 7. Hybrid Runbook 7 actually what it does is it connects to the AZ account with the identity, and then it invokes the uh, a PowerShell script on a remote machine. Remote machine is VM1 where it is script is executed, and the script which it is running is actually on this path C runbook 1 AZ script. So there is a PowerShell code which is kept inside the C colon runbook 1 folder, and the script where it is kept is AZ copy script PS1. And this particular script is getting called remotely, and this script is located in the VM1. So what we are doing, we are invoking this remote script with the help of this invoke AZ VM run command, and this command actually executes it inside that. Now let's understand what is there in that command. What is there in that is it is actually PowerShell code which is written in that. PowerShell code is nothing but we are actually doing the invoke expression command, and the expression we are using is we are going into the azcopy.exe. Azcopy.exe is also kept inside the same folder, runbook1 folder, and we are using the login identity with the identity of the VM. We are actually login, okay, and with that login, we are actually using the copy command, azcopy command, and then we are copying from this lake to the other lake, okay, and that's it, and we are coming back. So in our case, if you see, this is our lake, and this is a destination lake, and I will remove this data in the destination lake, and I'm going to go to the source lake, and source data set is here. So if you come here in the source data set, you will find one container, and in the container I have kept source as a container, and I have this folder, and inside the one folder I have kept one PDF file. So when I run this script, it will copy this file into the um, destination storage account, and as you see the destination storage account, there is nothing there. So if you go back here in the destination storage account, so there is nothing in this, but when I run this script, it will copy it. So when I do this copy, what we will do, we will actually add the um, you know the VM's identity into the um, into the storage accounts. So if I show you that the VM's identity, so what is a VM's identity? Virtual machine's identity is here, and there is a storage block data contributor role on the VM's identity. And that is the reason when you use AZ identity command here, AZ copy login identity, which means that the VM's identity is being used with the AZ copy. So that, which means that this identity of the VM, the managed identity of the VM, will be able to use the copy on both the storage accounts. So I have kept this VM's identity access to the storage block data contributor role on both the source and destination storage accounts, so that we can copy from the source to destination. So this is one. And then the rest of the command is very simple, because I have kept azcopy.exe in the same folder, runbook folder. So this command azcopy.exe is kept. That's why I am referring it directly with the path, right? And this script is actually kept. If you see, this script is actually invoking the expression, which is this expression, and then it is saying that command is completed, and then it is outputting the command output in the output variable. So now we are showing the output variable, what is the output of the command. So this is what it does. Now um, we will also see um, in the runbook, when the hybrid runbook will copy this, because hybrid or runbook 7 is the main runbook which is actually getting executed on the remote VM, and this is how it looks like. If you see this, this is how the invoke command is completing, and az copy login, and then it is actually copying the data from source to the destination um, storage account. So what we have done here is, if you see, this is your hybrid runbook, which we already understood. We have actually created a master runbook. Why master runbook? Because with the help of master runbook, we are actually calling three runbooks. First runbook is going to start the VM. Second, step in this master runbook is going to call the hybrid runbook 7, and then third step is going to stop the VM, right? So this is a once master runbook which is actually calling three different runbooks. So that is what we are actually doing here. So let me now run this command, and you can see that my virtual machine is stopped and deallocated here. So when I run this command master runbook, it will not just start the VM, it will copy the data, right? And copying the data will happen on the in your uh, destination storage account. So let's go to the destination storage account. So it will copy somewhere here. So let's see that. So now I am running this, starting it, master runbook, and that's it. And let's wait for this runbook to complete. In the meantime, I'm going to have a strict watch on the VM, whether the VM is starting or not. So let's go to the VM now. And let's refresh it whether VM is starting. So let's go to the another runbooks, whether those runbooks are getting called or not. So let's see that how those runbooks are getting called. So let me go here and see whether my start runbook is getting called. So start VM runbook is here, and you can see that this runbook is getting called from the master runbook, and it is still in progress, which means my VM is going to start anytime. And if I come here in the VM, it is still not started, so it will take a couple of seconds to start it. You can see that now my VM is already running state, and my runbook is already executed the first step, and that is how the master runbook is still running. And let's go to the hybrid runbook, whether the hybrid runbook is running now or not. So I'll go to the hybrid runbook, refresh it, and hybrid runbook is still not yet done. So let's wait for hybrid runbook to come. Now you can see start VM is already executed successfully. So now let's go to the hybrid runbook. So this runbook is still not started. So let's wait. I think the second hybrid runbook will be starting anytime. Now you can see that hybrid runbook is also started, and hybrid runbook is still getting executed now. Now you can see that destination storage account already have a copy of the file which I have kept in the source file 1, which means that my runbook is already executed, and that is also visible here. So it is still showing a running state, and it is also showing the file copied, only one file copied here with the AZ copy, which means that my runbook is already, it has successfully copied it, and it is visible as well here. If you see, this is also visible here with the file which is showing here. Now the last step in my master runbook will be to stop the VM, and that is what is exactly being done now. So if you see VM, any point of time the VM will stop working or deallocated. So now let's see. So this is now done with the hybrid runbook, but the third step is still pending. So let's go to the stop runbook and see whether the stop runbook is now working or not. You can see that stop runbook is now running already, which means that any point of time my VM will be shut down. So at any point of time you will see that VM is stopped or deallocated. Now you can see that VM is deallocating now, which means my script is almost done and it is completed, and my master script is also completed now. So if you see my master script, it is successfully completed. So which means that it called my start VM, it used the copy command and the AZ copy, and then it completed the stop VM successfully. So with this you understood that how we can create any complex automation with the help of Azure automation scripts. If we use the PowerShell and then automation accounts, and with the hybrid runbook. Here I just want to point one more thing, that I have used the hybrid runbook, and I can use hybrid runbook two ways: hybrid worker, run on hybrid worker, or on Azure. I have used Azure part, but if you want to run on hybrid worker, then you need to set up and put some extra set of settings for hybrid worker to work, which means that you need to provide a credential on hybrid worker to log in and then work on the hybrid worker. So there are some settings which is required for that step, but for this kind of situation which I am showing here, it is okay to run on the Azure one instead of hybrid worker itself. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss